Hi guys, welcome to the Savvy Money Show with me, your host Sean. This is an update for those who requested one on Boeing. I didn't say don't invest in Boeing, I just said it's going to be a long road. It's going to be 3 to 5 years at least before there's any sense of normality with them. And you had some people going in once they gave their earnings. I gave an update saying how if one thing that would change my mind would be them getting a loan facility, sorting out a debt facility, maybe with a Fed, which they actually turned down because they set up a bond with a lot of companies and people were clamoring to take them up. So that was one thing that was positive for them. Second thing was them getting certification for their engine, which they're still waiting on, which they expected back in March. I'm not saying they won't get it, I'm just saying that's still ongoing. And the third thing is they've brought out 2 new planes. So, they don't want to scrap the 737 because they don't want to be associated with making faulty goods. They'd rather tweak the engine and push that forward and say they've fixed the problems. Now, they are still bringing in money. As I said last time, they will still bring in money. It will just be years of hurt before they get anywhere back to normalcy. All the people were saying, oh, but they were over $400. Those people were looking at them when they were overvalued because they brought out a 737 MAX too quickly, before the problems with the 737 MAX. When it went down to 300, 330, that was about the right valuation. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go bankrupt because we know they won't. Not unless something major happens to them. They do have their defence arm, yes. But the problem is that when we look at them, they've gone up and down a bit, but they've more or less stayed around the same price. Now we go to their competitor, Airbus. Some people have said, well, why don't I go into Airbus, their competitor? But they're being sued as well. So why would you not wait and see how that goes out if you want to? I mean, you can see here that it was 48 a while ago. If you want to go into an Airbus, that was the time to go into it. I'm not saying don't go into Airbus. I'm just saying that the aircraft industry is hurting. It's hurting badly, and even more now that Warren Buffett has said he can't see in the future. What he actually meant was he can't predict it, and he doesn't go into a company he can't predict. Now, he didn't actually say he can't see a future, because he can. He just said that it has to change massively. Now, that means the airplane manufacturers have to change massively. And they're still building the same planes to clear the backlog. Now, what happens if all the airplane carriers, all the ones like BA, Delta, Southwestern, say, sorry, we don't want that plane anymore, we're going to cancel it because of what's happened. We want a new plane with social distancing rules in place. Or instead of having 3 seats in, we want them 1 seat, space, 1 seat. You know, and to make people feel safer. Doesn't make them safer, it just makes them feel safer. You know, it's and they have to come up with a whole new design. It's not just a case of ripping out a seat, because then the plane's not going to look nice. And yes, they could come up with a new design, but it's going to be again about who's first to market. Now, the alternative, I said a week ago, was General Dynamics. And if you looked at and to tell the truth, they jumped up. They did. They jumped up. I sold some of them when tensions went with China. They jumped up. I sold some of them, and then they then I. Sorry about this. I'm trying to get this at the right point. They jumped up and they went back down again, so now they're back at a good price. They pay a dividend, and here you are. Now, Jim Cramer, the one whose show was responsible for NAT jumping from $6 to $9, has just come out and said General Dynamics is a very good long-term hold. Now, you should look at this and then do your own due diligence and look into this company. I said a while ago how it pays a dividend, it's in the defence sector, and it's a fairly stable company, more stable than Boeing and Boeing and Airbus. It's operating at a same discount as Boeing is. If you look at simply Wall Street, only it's more stable than Boeing is. It doesn't have the same amount of debt that Boeing has just incurred. It had $38 billion worth of debt, Boeing did, and then it took on another $6 billion to get through this. And I know they can take out more, but then do you want a company with saddled with so much debt that it's not going to make any profit anytime soon? It's your call. Now, me, I've gone back into General Dynamics. I've sold my position in Boeing. The thing is, it's hurting for the airlines. And if it's hurting for the airlines, they're not going to buy a new aircraft. They have maintenance staff who are paid. A bit like these big companies have lawyers who are on the payroll. They don't pay them like we do per hour. They're paid per year. Now, they are going to get use out of their maintenance staff by maintaining the current planes rather than buy new planes. When oil prices are low, why are they going to be looking for more efficient airplanes? They're better off getting the older planes, using their older planes and having them non-efficient. It'll be cheaper than buying a new one and then waiting few years, and then the newer planes will be even more efficient. If you say about the defence arm, General Dynamics, a discounted defence arm that has just been validated by Jim Cramer off Mad Money. Check it out yourself. As I always said, do your due diligence. Anyway, goodbye.